If we go in the Quran, we will find the Quran say something very, very silly. In chapter 21, verse number 107, it says that Allah, He sent Muhammad nothing but a mercy for mankind. Nothing, which means the purpose of Muhammad to be sent is to be a mercy. This is what it says. So based on this, Muhammad is nothing but mercy to all mankind, and even Jinn. I don't know what Muhammad had to do with the Jinn. Look like he's in control of them too. But all of us, we knew that Muslim, they claim that Muhammad was controlled by black magic, which means he was controlled by Satan, which means he was controlled by a genie, because the Muslim believe that Satan is a Muslim and he's a genie. As you know, in the Quran confirm that Satan, he believe in Allah and he's a good Muslim. But the only reason he not doing good, because Allah, He appointed him. Which means he's doing good, he's doing the right job, and his job is to be the enemy of mankind. In chapter 6, verse 112, it says that we have appointed for every prophet enemies, shayateens, satans. Who is the one who appointed the shayateen? Allah. So Allah is the boss of all shaitans in the world, and He gave them duty to do. So like, let us say, you work in a company, you go to the company in the morning, they say to you, today you have to do this and this and that. This is exactly how Allah, He managed His business. He have many shaitans, they work for Him, and those shaitans, they have a duty to go and mislead everybody, including prophets of Allah. And here you notice actually the verse saying clearly in chapter 6, 112, that Allah appointed to every prophet satans. And here the Quran says something very strange. It says Satan from the mankind and jinn. If you ask the Muslims, is Satan is a genie or he is from the mankind? He will say to you right away, jinn. But this verse here says mankind. And they try to give it their own, false fiction interpretation, but the verse is so clear. It is Satan's. He used shayateen, so they are not just like us. And between two brackets, even the Muslim, they make it clear. They say the devils from among the mankind and jinn. So what this verse is saying to us, that shaitan, he can be a human being sent by Allah. He looked like a human being, but he is shaitan. And he is a genie in the same time. But the question why Allah want to send Satans to mislead people. You see, it's not Satan voluntarily, he is doing misleading. It is Allah, In fact, the Quran confirmed that, like when shaitan, he says to Allah, فَلَمَّا أَغْوَيْتَنِي, when you mislead me, when you deceive me. So shaitan saying to Allah, you are the one, all those verses says the same, by the way. Like chapter 7, verse 16, chapter 15, verse number 39. Like here as an example, it says, so Iblis said, oh my Lord, so shaitan is a Muslim. Shaitan, he called Allah, my Lord. Because you misled me, I shall mislead them too. So who is the true shaitan? Obviously, the true shaitan is Allah. Shaitan himself in Islam is a Muslim. Allah, he mislead shaitan, so shaitan can do the work in this part of the verse. He is going to mislead people. But yet Shaitan is a Muslim, and he believes in Allah and he worship Allah. To the point, supposedly, in the day of judgment, Shaitan, he will say, I have nothing to do with those people who did be misled by me, but you are the one who made me mislead them. Going back now to the stories of Muhammad. Which is about thieves, cutting hands, because this is our topic today. There's a video of Mufti Mink, if you remember, we played it before here. Let me find it. They brought a thief to the caliphate, and they told the thief, he told the caliphate, because the Muslims, as you see, they believe that Shaitan, he himself, he have a destiny. Muslims themselves, they have a destiny. And destiny means that everything you do, including rape, killing, theft, crimes, everything is done because Allah, he appointed you to do that. So if we go here, we will find this. This is Mufti Mink speaking. So this is Mufti Mink explain to us a story. For a man, his hand should be cut off, for he is a thief. Listen carefully.
Be the fool. A man came at the time of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu. According to one of the narrations, he needed to be punished because he stole. So he comes to Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu and he uses the same line. He says, "Oh Umar, oh Amirul Mu'mineen, how can you punish me for having stolen when it was predestined? My deeds were already written by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." Now that's quite a good argument if you were to look at it. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu was one.
See what he said? He said this is a good argument if you want to look at it. He didn't say this is foolishness. This is a good argument. Why you are going to punish me if what I did is a destiny? The so-called Sheikh Mink, he agreed. He said this is a good argument. But look how the response of the caliphate, because Islam is devilish, it's about playing games. He could not refute the argument of the man, which is proving Islam to be invalid, stupid cult. Why I will be punished for being a thief if this was destiny? And as you see, it's a good argument, which means he's right. His argument is a right argument. It's a very good argument. The caliphate could not refute him. What he said, listen carefully.
"Oh Amirul Mu'mineen, how can you punish me for having stolen when it was predestined? My deeds were already written by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." Now that's quite a good argument if you were to look at it. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu was one ahead of this man. He says, well, let's punish this man because it was predestined that we were going to punish him as well.
Oh, look at this intelligence. See how smart the caliphate? You see the game of sickness? So now he will cut the hands of the person even though he knew the argument is right. If it is destiny, which means I cannot change it, Allah, he made me a thief, why you are punishing me? The caliphate, he said, well, Allah, he destined me to cut your hands. And then we need to ask ourselves, what kind of God? He deceived Shaitan. Shaitan deceived people. People believe it is destiny, which means they have no choice to do or not to do. And then they will be punished. And the one who punish you, it's a destiny too that he will punish you. So the one who killed, it's a destiny. The one who was killed is a destiny. The one who punished the killer, it was a destiny. This is how stupid this garbage cult is. Let us see the one who is trying to call.
Like, last thing before I go, like, can you show like something that like, you know, ISIS and all these groups, they base themselves on teachings. Like I've seen a lot of verses, but like the most quoted verses are like chapter 9 verse 5 and 9 29. Can you show like more like verses and tafsir, something like that, and what they base
The
themselves on?
Quran, chapter 8, as an example, verse number 39 says, and fight them until there's no more tumult and oppression or oppression. And the religion, all of it will become to Allah. So here the Muslim, they try to translate, says, like they add things is not there. So in Arabic it says, وَقَاتِلُوهُمْ حَتَّى لَا تَكُونَ فِتْنَةً وَيَكُونَ الدِّينُ كُلُّهُ لِلَّهِ فَإِنْ انْتَهُوا, don't kill them. So fight them until everybody convert to Islam.
But they say about Surah 9 that it's in the context of a war, you know?
Well, Islam is a religion, and at war with anyone is not a Muslim. Muslims, they believe that there's a three lands. There's a land of peace. This is the land controlled by Sharia law. There's a land of war. This is land is not controlled by the Sharia law. And there's a land which is Muslim land, but it's not practicing Sharia law. This is the land of fitna. So the Muslim land, which is controlled by Muslims under Sharia law, this is the land of peace, which means Muslim will not kill Muslims. But a land which is not controlled by Sharia law, and it's still a Muslim land, it's called a fitna because this is their trouble there. There's no Sharia. So we have to fight those people who they are not practicing Sharia. And then there's the land which is refusing the Sharia law. This is the land of war. So the Muslim, they cannot deny that. They can say those things to someone who don't know much about Islam to deceive. But for someone who knows Islam, they cannot, like Muhammad, he says, I've been commanded to kill all mankind until they say there's no God but Allah and there's no prophet but Muhammad. So,
yes.
Yeah, so he's not fighting someone fighting him. He's fighting anyone, any people who don't believe in Allah and any people who don't accept Islam as a religion. He's not fighting people who they are fighting him. He's fighting anyone, doesn't matter who. I've been commanded to kill. You see, the word uqatil is to fight, to kill, not to fight like by hand or debating them, no. And this is why it says, then their blood and their property only is going to be secured from my hand. Only if they do what? If they convert to Islam, if they pay the jizya, if they pay the zakat, if they pray, if they fast as we fast, if they eat as we eat, which means they have to follow every aspect of Islam, and for sure the first thing to say Muhammad is a messenger, then and only then their blood and their property is secure from my hand, Muhammad said. And this is very authentic. As you see, this is Al-Bukhari and Muslims.